Hello everybody. I think I'm a little bit glitchy today. I hope you can all see me. It's another Sunday, and I got a little bit of a show for you. I didn't do my big old production that I normally do because I just didn't have that time. I didn't get home till yesterday, and then we had that rando show last night that woohoo, it's kind of my computer's still hot from yesterday, but it's all good, and I'm here, and it looks like you're all here, so you wanted to see another show, so we're going to talk a little bit um, about some honesty in the Bigfoot research, and it's in general, it's just a general topic that we all talk about all the time, right? We do. But I do have a guest for tonight. So let's bring him on.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
Hey, it's Jonathan.
How you
How are
doing tonight?
you? I'm good. I'm good. You're a little bit jumping in and out, but I don't know if it's my computer or you.
So,
Get
what I'm
well.
nice and clean. I'm not seeing anything freezing on my end, but I
Okay.
would say that I lose the sound periodically, and I have to tap for
Oh,
sound.
okay. Okay, so it is you then.
It could be Nikki. I've never done the phone before.
Yeah. No, usually it's pretty good. So we'll keep it up and go with it until I lose you. Just jump back on whenever if that happens.
All right.
It'll be fine. But
Thanks
I do
for having.
appreciate. Yeah, thanks for coming on. And let's do a quick check of who's here tonight. Oh my goodness, you guys started chatting a long time ago. I can't even get to the top of the chat. Good on you guys. Thanks for being here. You guys are the best supporters, really. I do appreciate you guys coming here and watching what I got to say. And you don't have to do that. So I do appreciate it. And Uncle Bones, good evening. How are you? First in the chat tonight. So then we had Beelin. Beelin sent me a very lovely message today. I do appreciate that. I have to tell you, you guys, man, right in my heart, all of you guys. I got so many texts today that I could hardly keep up with them. And they were all encouraging, and some a couple of worried, worried for me in regard, the drama. But it's okay. I'm all good. But I appreciate it. It makes me feel good that you guys support. You guys are there.
Yeah,
So
we all.
Sharon, what's that,
I
Jonathan?
said we. Yeah, I said we all love you.
I love you guys too. Uh, and all my shenanigans. Let's see. Mark. Hey, good to see you, Mark. Oh, there's my sister. What are you up to? I said Sharon. D. Mitchell. Hi, everyone. I'm not going to be able to watch the whole show. Just wanted to check in. Hello. Thanks for coming and checking in. I appreciate it. Angel. How you doing there, Angel? Just Steve. Just Steve. Um, who else do we got? We got oh, Bat Mom. Thank you for being here. And a newcomer, Rabbit Homesteading. Thank you for coming in. See what we can talk about tonight. There's Woohoo. Woohoo's in the house. And John. Hey John Ayers. How you doing?
Salt man.
Good to see you, Donald. Dennis Conroy. How you doing? Good to see everybody here. See you, Danny. I see you jumping in there. So, so tonight we are. Oops, how was I going to do this today? I was going to put us. Let's pick a good one. Oh, okay, that's the one. It'll work. Or there's this one. Or
Honesty time.
even or not even. We'll do that one. So tonight, honest tea. It's tea time. I have to tell you, that title came from Old Spirit Art, okay, who's sometimes in the chat and she's a supporter. And I loved it. I loved it when she made that comment on one of my shows. I think it was 2 shows ago. I'm not sure now. But I told her, I love it. I'm going to use it in the title. And she says, okay, do it. So I did. And it's a good play. And it kind of fits into what's been going on, you know, for this week is honesty in Bigfoot research. And sometimes fact and fiction, they get kind of messed up, right? Intertwined. And it's hard to figure out the truth. So, but we pursue the truth, and it's a vital element when it comes to scientific research. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of different things that go with that. So that's where this uh, show is kind of going to go. Okay. It's going to be about the honesty and how that plays in a Bigfoot. There's Val. Val came in. Let me go back to the chat over here so I can see what's going on. Trackway. Is Trackway here? Hi, Track. Cosmic Neighbors. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, Ron. Nice to see you. I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat a little bit tonight. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to put those in caps so I can find it and we can get to those questions. And I'll answer whatever you want to ask. So if I don't, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But so
I'm afraid buttons on this. I wonder how I could my phone. How do you view the chat? There is a button that's chat, but I don't want to push it and mess up your show.
No, you won't do that. When you hit that chat button, it's going to take you to comments or something like that. And you
All right.
go to comments or chat. And because one is private chat for us, and then the other is the actual people comments.
Okay, live chat.
Yeah.
All right. So I can try that?
Yeah, you can try it. You should be fine. That's funny, John. Why are you sending me text in the middle of a show?
I did.
Right? No, not you, John. John Ayers out there sending me pictures. He's just trying to F with me. Your Sasquatch wizard. He sent a picture of a Sasquatch wizard. Sasquatch. And it's good. I'll show it in a little bit. Thank you, John.
Yeah, sent me a bunch of AI generated Sasquatch wizard.
Oh, did he send it to you?
Yeah, he sent them a couple weeks ago. Sent me 5 or 6. He had them made.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at, but I know he texts them to me, my work phone.
Gotcha. No questions here. I'm drinking beer at the table in the back corner, taking it all in.
There you go.
Somebody else said they were drinking a beer too. I don't know who. I don't remember who said that now. Brian Chewy. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. So, here's my question. Okay. What happens when the line between truth and lies blurs? Okay. How do the hoaxes and sensationalism impact the serious pursuit of understanding Bigfoot? Because that's what we're all here for, right? Is to try to understand Bigfoot, to try to prove his existence. Now, I'm not talking about those who I saw it with my eyes, I know it's real. Okay, you've already have that understanding. But for many of us and for the general public, we've never seen Bigfoot, you know? So it's about the rest of outside our community to bring it forth as real, as maybe even a type specimen, something like that. But
Sure.
when you have a community that's just rot with hoaxes, that's where it's hard to get through. And that's frankly what makes us a joke, right? On the outside. That's
For the
what
most
people, yeah, and we've all dealt with that. Every single one of us here, where, do I mention that I like to, dabble looking for Bigfoot? Do I tell people that I believe in Bigfoot or that I had a Bigfoot experience? Because we don't want to be laughed at. We don't
right.
want to be thought of as weird or crazy. And more, that's not the case. I think people are becoming more open-minded now, especially since the whole UFO crap that's been going on.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it seems like more people are a little bit more open to the idea that something bipedal is out there walking in the woods, the
Or
woods
at least
that we go and
made it.
play in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since you have hunters who will go out there every season for their entire lives and never saw anything. It's hard to get those people who fish every weekend, go out hunting every season, are constantly out in the woods and have never had any type of experience or anything to make them think that there was even a Bigfoot out there. So that's one of the things that we deal with. But more so, publicity wise, the hoaxes is what's always, comes out. I mean, look at Rick Dyer. He made world news. It wasn't just news here in the US, it was all around the world. Australia, Japan, everywhere was reporting about the Georgia hoax and the whole Hank suit thing. So that's what the public sees. So that keeps them going with that. Um, it's not real type of thing.
Well, my sister
So
weekend, Nikki, she had mentioned to me because she and my brother-in-law Johnny, they both know that I'm in the subject of Sasquatch, and they weren't here very long before they mentioned to me, "Do you know anything about that incident out west where the Sasquatch was seen from the train?"
I
And
hate that one already.
I know, and I explained to them what it is that I had, and we discussed
Yeah,
it. Um, and I mean, they were telling me what their friends thought of it, and so
right.
many thought that it was real and swore up and down it was real. And when I shared with them the information that I had, they were like, "Oh, I knew it. It had to have been fake." And we just a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I had all kinds of my family sending me those, that photo, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I already know. And a lot of the times my sister will also send me pictures and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's from like 2 years ago. I talked it about on this show, and that, I mean, I appreciate it that, she sees things and either believes or doesn't believe, whichever the case. But when we're immersed in this subject, all of us here, we see that stuff pretty fast. So
Yeah.
um and when you're on the skeptic side. Now, I believe, okay, everybody, I believe in Bigfoot, but I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic about the evidence. And you're going to find it hard to make me believe in a lot of the stuff that's out there. That's okay. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You can have all the evidence in the world. We're still going to be in the same place. You know, look at how long the Patterson Gimlin stuff has been there, you know, and we're still in the same, we haven't had anything that has compared to that. And I know some people think, yeah, well, the Mississippi, you know, swamp one or whatever, that's real or what, and it's not. You know, we find out all the truth and we put it out there, but people will always believe what they want to believe. You can only put out the information we have, and
Exactly.
that way the people watching, can make an educated decision on what you're going to believe.
But I also think that they need a little bit of leadership as well. And so it is good that, some folks that are talented in certain aspects, like Dr. Jeff Meldrum with foot morphology and anthropology,
Mm-hmm.
and take somebody like Steve Calls, yourself, and Brant, and some of the others, and got Joe when he was around, that were staying on top of the investigative side of things,
Yeah.
able to analyze video, and not let the lesser, not lesser educated, but the less experienced, the newcomers, the ones that are, they've got the glasses of Kool-Aid in their hand and they're ready to drink it. If there's more of you guys out
Yeah.
there explaining what's real and what's not real and helping with the leadership, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of folks will be able to take the right path instead of the wrong road early.
And that's the big thing, is because we've talked about this before, is that in the beginning, when you first come into this community, you are bombarded with so many photos and videos and encounter stories that you just want to believe it all,
That
you
was
know.
me.
And there was very few places you could go to see vetted material. Okay.
Yeah.
All you can do is, because it doesn't matter what photo you put out, you're going to get a dozen people immediately say, oh, I love that photo. That's the best photo I've ever seen, you know?
Right. And I don't think
And
maliciously, they're just trying to be nice people and they're excited and they want to, be part of it. I don't
yeah,
think bad by it, but they get misled, uh, kind of a mistake almost in the beginning, and I think it's getting better because there's more folks out there like yourself and Steve and um, Brant, and many others that are putting the truth out and paving the way for a much more sensible approach to the Sasquatch subject.
yeah. And it's not appreciated as much. We know we're appreciated by our followers, of course, because
Mm-hmm.
that's why they follow us. And
Yeah.
I know I'm not a channel that's for everybody. Okay.
Right.
Uh, you have to be a little bit on that critical thinking side, which a lot of people kind of poo poo on, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
to really sit here and listen to me argue points, right? But that's what I do. That's where this whole thing came from. My show is
Mm-hmm.
because I was tired of seeing the same shit all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And there were answers, and I found those answers, but nobody else or let me rephrase that, not everybody knows how to look for those answers. So that's where it came from. And because of that, I found more people like me, more people who want to know the answers, who want to know the backstories, who want to know when it happened, why it happened, who was involved. And not everybody, unfortunately, not everybody cares. They don't care. They want to see the pretty picture and believe. So it'll be a long road for me in this, and I won't be liked by many. But as long as I have you guys who show up, no matter what, then that'll keep me going. That'll keep this going. I don't make any money at this. I don't have enough subscribers to do that. And just like Brent's not doesn't get a dime for anything he puts out. So it doesn't really matter, he's not in danger. He's just giving his opinion. And also, it's stuff that's already out there. That's what gets me, is all
Right.
the information we put out, it's already out there. We're not making it up. you
Right.
know we're just trying to make it into a place where you can find it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And so
Nikki, you mentioned, how does the line between hoaxing and science get blurred? What is that wall, that barrier between us honest folks out there trying to collect trace evidence and present it in a way that can be useful to those that have the means of, quote unquote, pushing the science forward in a professional manner, per se.
Yep.
And the more work all of the folks that are honest, truthful, and willing to better their techniques and the way that they present things, will be the more material that's available on social media for scientific academia to kind of tap into. Don't expect a comment. Don't expect them to expose themselves, but you can bet your ass, pardon my language, that they are watching from afar. And when they see something that we might not even see in our video, and it might not even be the topic of the video, but we are out there in the woods or we're having a discussion, and if they can take that information and grab bits and pieces of it, that may be the way that we're helping the ball roll down the field without even knowing it.
Right.
And if folks out there describing the difference between right and wrong, then everybody would be going afar in random directions, drinking play. And I would imagine, if I was a professional, wouldn't do media where I would go look for my information. But if a steady stream of good information and a handful of good groups were doing some really good work, eventually it's going to, draw the attention of scientific academia. And like I said, they might not expect academia to call them on the phone or join in on a live podcast or comment on their video. But again, mine, do a good job, good thorough work, honest and true, and it may help.
Right. Yeah. So let me read a couple of things that came up here, and that's Roku Jepta says, the reality of Bigfoot is a hard pill to swallow, even when faced with the truth. Lies and hoaxing only make a hard truth more unbelievable. 3 cheers for the wizard.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Jeff says, I think those who are serious about finding answers and making honest efforts in research are coming to realize they don't need YouTube and the 3-ring circus it features to do so. And that's that. And that's been for a while, actually. I know many researchers who have left YouTube and
Yeah.
Facebook. You know, they put out an occasional video out there, but for
Yeah.
the most part, they have, stopped doing that type of, um, I don't know, just showing everybody. Um,
I totally
so,
understand. I have a question, because you're talking about, and Jeff brought up something, and you're talking about something that I put a little bit of thought to. Let's back up before YouTube, and go back to,
mhm,
John Grover Krantz, Renee DeHenden, Peter Byrne, John
right?
Bender, guys. Um, let's say they were more into their, youthful middle age, and, you know, into the subject platforms that we have today. I think that they would be here with us. I sense that even for them, they separated themselves from people that they quickly caught on to, or just not in the mainstream, or not at the um, educational level that they were at.
Mhm,
And I think that's much the same, like you just said. Individuals that get into this, do it for 3 or 4 years, and take the road of being serious probably do, such as, you know, well, I'm not going to name names, but I agree with you. Yeah. You
yeah.
finally come to your senses and think to yourself, why would scientific academia use YouTube as a platform to, to launch a good science experiment? Although I stand by the fact that I, in my opinion, feel that if they were pissed off, they certainly would tap into this platform to check out certain individuals that they've been told, hey, keep an eye on that guy. He's doing some good work in the area where he's at.
Mhm, yeah.
I think that's
It,
right, but
yeah, it's, you know, when you're going through all these stages, right, of learning about this, and everybody's different. I know that some people are just here for the fluff, okay? They're not here for the hardcore learning or wanting to have answers. That's fine, and I'm not talking about them because they don't concern me. They watch a shit ton of encounter story channels and they love it and they fall asleep to it, and that's their jive. That's fine. I Those aren't the people I am talking about, right? I'm talking about the other side, the people who do want answers and really help find this creature, and who are boots on the ground, or armchair researchers, or whatever they can do because they can't get enough of the subject, you know not the ones that are just trying to spend a little time, waste a little time, and watch encounter stories.
mhm.
That's not really who I have to target. They don't care. They just want the nice stories. And there's a lot of people out there who put out great content. We don't know if it's real content, okay, because there's no real way to vet stories,
Yeah,
okay?
you got to be able to trust the individual.
Right,
And that
right.
is something that people should expect, that if you want people to take you serious, then you need to be able to um, work on convincing them that you're a trustworthy person. and that's big actions, period. And it takes time. You just can't pop in here and be here for 6 months and start shooting off at the mouth and telling everybody that everything that you're doing is the God's honest truth. I mean, it takes some time to know somebody.
Right. So in this whole line that I'm talking about, what it's the cornerstone of scientific integrity, being honest. Okay. If you don't have that, then it hits people exactly in their credibility. 100%.
Well said.
There's a lot of skepticism with that, but it's crucial, to gain the trust, because they all go hand in hand. Trust, honesty, it all builds up to that credibility, because then you believe what they're putting out. So, and nobody's perfect. I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I can make mistakes. I've made mistakes,
God knows.
and you gotta fix it right away. If you want to continue on, you have to, nip things in the bud and backtrack and do what you have to do. But boy, the chat is going so fast. I can't pay attention and with my thoughts and everything. Okay, Brent is telling him what happened to him today.
Somebody had, I don't know where I had answered on this, but my general was that I catch myself thinking that overall I do see some improvement in the community as a whole. Not speaking about any one in particular person, but when I think back 3 years when I first got into this, what topics were grabbing attention when it came to the sound of owls or simply a gimbal, or a specific camera setting and a lot of different software platforms like Cornell University's Merlin or Bird.net. I remember writing all these down and excited to learn these platforms. And so I'm not sure if it's because I'm surrounded by the same folks that I see improvement in those areas, and I'm involved with 100 newcomers, or if in general the entire community is quite a bit more knowledgeable of these software platforms and apps like Onyx and so on, Spectrogram. More and more people are using them. So there is signs that it is getting better. It seems like more the personalities and the morals of people that need to be sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One moment. Somebody's asking me.
I'm so sorry if I'm chopping up here.
Okay, sorry about that. So what do we got? You're right, Alan. Randy Brissom is an example. People won't believe. There are people who won't believe even what's right in front of them. You can have, thank you, got me a water. So you can't do anything about that, right? There's only so much uh, proof you can show,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's up to that individual to make their own decision. And
Yeah.
so that's sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow because you're like, we just showed you, I just showed you the proof. I showed you the pictures. I showed you just like the mess with the Beacon Bigfoot hoax. There are still people who love that damn little baby Bigfoot, and they don't believe, that it's a hoax. It's fake. It was made. And you have all the pictures of the little Bigfoot family, and you know where it's at and who has it and who's been exposing it out on his thing. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. There's people who just believe, and that's the end of it, you know.
Can you
Um,
imagine if you had a list of every YouTube subscriber in the world, which I know this is not realistic, but let's just say if you were to see a spread on everybody in the Bigfoot community, whether they're in oh, it's the flesh and blood camp or whether they're in the supernatural camp. And if you were to ask them that one question, have you ever seen the breakdown on the baby Bigfoot and how it has been determined and broke down to be fake? How many would answer yes? And then put that on a pie graph, and out of 100% of the Bigfoot community, how many of them have absorbed that information and know the true answer? I mean, do you think it's even more than 10%?
it doesn't feel like it's more than 10%.
I mean, I
No,
hope,
I
but
I would hope so, but remember, we're already our grouping, if you want to say our side, okay, because that's been implied now that
yeah, we're the
we have
majority.
taken sides, okay, and there's a
Hmm.
bunch of different sides to this dice, okay.
Hmm.
It's not just the woo, and it's not just the flesh and blood anymore. There's a whole lot of different things going on. So I'm just one little side over here giving my opinion about keeping it real. Okay.
Yeah,
Bigfoot should be the last thing on your mind. You should try to make it the last thing to explain things that are happening in the woods, in my opinion.
yeah.
You know?
And at least be able to go find the information that you're talking about. I mean, if you're going to talk about supernatural, and I put it under that, guys. Yeah, I'm not, you know, no specifics.
Hmm.
You're going to say that you think that something whispered out of a tree while you were standing in the woods. At least go do your due diligence and try to find where there is science behind that. Or has anybody put together uh, a team with their professor, gone out and did a study to see if trees whisper? And it doesn't take too long to look up anything, and it's either there or it is not. But when you look that up, don't fall in the trap of clicking on Joe Blow over in Timbuktu that did his own personal study, because that's no different than watching a YouTube video.
Hmm.
Um, I think that if they would at least be able to present that, I mean, if I was watching a video and somebody brought up, and I actually even did this a while back ago, it was because I could back it up. Again, God or Joe with us, he got upset talking about pork, and on, I was in the chat and typed in a link or told or mentioned that there was on that by legitimate science, and I tried to deliver that information there. It
Oh, I
was,
lost you. What did you say?
I said it didn't mean that I believed in portals. It just meant that I didn't just turn my head on it. I actually went and I searched for any scientific work done on the subject of portals and what work they do. And then I read into it.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Yeah.
was information out there, and there have been some studies, but there's nothing that I've found that's definitive. And if some of these individuals would just understand that, just do a little footwork and show that in your video. Give us a link where there is some information other than just yourself saying it. Where the,
Right.
being studied. I think that would help a lot. I mean, it really would. I
Um,
just that they
real fast, I'm going to
would.
stop you because I don't want to lose you anymore. Jonathan, I'm going to have you get out and then come back in, and then I'm going to do the same to see if we can fix this choppiness.
Okay. Hopefully, I know how to do that.
Okay, while he goes and comes out, we're going to see if I'm choppy too. I think he's pulling my feet out, in and out, but because I'm not choppy now that he's gone, do I seem pretty smooth now? I think it was Jonathan. But we'll see if he can come back in and get a better signal, because that happens sometimes. That does happen. And we'll see if that helps. So here we go. Okay, you're back on.
Okay. Am I chopping?
Well, now I can't tell. No, we'll see.
It's me.
It's you. So we'll see. We'll
Apologize.
we'll see. He's not home, guys. He's still on his Thanksgiving vacation.
Right.
So
Turkey.
yeah, for sure. So I had put a link in the chat. That was to a video that Jonathan put out. Was it today, this morning? Did you put it out this morning or
Yeah,
last night?
quite a while. Yeah. Would have been this morning. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
had stuck in iMovie and I couldn't figure out how to get it to YouTube. It took me forever. I was up until 2:00 in the morning, and I had been writing the paper since I saw a video. I saw Brent's video, and I had been working on it, and I stayed up until 2:00 in the morning, and I could not figure out how to get that iMovie to my photos so that I could put it on YouTube. But I finally did it.
Good. That's good. So that's that link I put out for you guys, is Jonathan's video. I've also linked it down in the description. So if you want to go take a look at that, it was very well put. So you guys can see that. And I'm also going to drop the link to the show. If anybody would like to join us for this little chat, you are welcome to come in. So I don't even know what, I didn't make very many slides, so we're just going with what I have here. But I'm not scary. I'm just misunderstood, honestly. So another thing about honesty is it facilitates peer review. Okay, it helps other people support you, right?
Yes.
And it helps with collaborations, which is a good thing, I know now, because it's a lot of work out there when I know, Jonathan, you go out there by yourself.
Just about every time. Yep.
Yeah. And I know that's probably, I mean, you're an expert now to
No.
go out by yourself. But
I'm pretty good at walking around. That's about it.
yeah. Um, so, but it'd be nice to have a partner, to bounce
Yeah.
ideas off of
Yes.
and uh, ask hard questions, right? Because otherwise you're just asking them to yourself or writing them in your little book and
Yep.
trying to do these things. So now I'm losing my train of thought of what my point was. It's that it's hard, right, to trust people.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the right person to go out there in the woods with who may be like minded, and you can get along with, that doesn't drive you crazy,
Mm-hmm.
to spend time out there in the woods looking for any type of evidence.
Yeah.
So uh, that's something out there, and that all comes down to honesty. Do you trust them? Are they being honest with you?
That would be the big
So
thing.
yeah,
But I think that I would definitely entertain somebody that's going to argue the point with me all the time out there, though. And, two minds is better than one. Seeing it from different perspectives would be a huge plus. I guess there's ups and downs, but yeah, absolutely. And it would be safer to be out there with two people than just one.
yeah. But that's just another facet. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that have to come together to make an investigation work, to uh, make it real, you know? And I learned that more myself. I've not been an investigator or a researcher. I was a camper. I was out there hiking or having fun. That's it. And it wasn't until recently that I found that I wanted to take it to the next level. I was quite happy with being behind the scenes and being behind my computer and doing my thing. I didn't have a problem with being an armchair researcher.
No,
And I don't think anybody else had a problem with me doing that either.
no,
But now that it's easier for me because now my kids are older and can take care of themselves and I can leave them now, things are changing. So uh, that's a good thing for me, because now I can learn how to appreciate boots on the ground more and things that are happening there for sure. Did I see a buzz go by? I saw a buzz. Hey, Bumblebee, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Um, what does he say? Good to see you, Daily Chronicle. Another one in. Rabbit says cloaking thing. I disagree because it's not even possible to jump in other dimensions as it's not a known thing at all with anything doing that. So doing that. So yeah, I read that. Yeah. I'm not big on cloaking. I think there's other explanations for that. Um, I mean, they do quite well hiding from us. So that, but I don't think they jump through portals either. So that's another side of that dice. Okay, that's a whole nother part of the community.
but if somebody
So
was to want to express themselves in that particular subject,
yeah.
uh, I remember when I was entertained by some information on the Large Hadron Collider, which is a particle collider that is, it's huge and it's underground in a big circle. And they push particles, different types of molecules at a high rate of speed and collide them together to study the effects of that collision and what happens. Well,
Uh huh.
while listening to that information, they were talking about these D-Wave computers. They're liquid-cooled D-Wave computers. And then listening to that information, they said that the science had showed, which again, okay, I'm not going to go that far with this, but I looked into it and read, and I cannot give you the link, so I'll shut right up now if you want me to shut up. But there was
You're good.
a paper that said that they had sent information through and then received information back, and it was in relation to another dimension. Now I'm sharing only what I remember.
Right.
I'm doing a study on it, but maybe a couple years ago, I might have screwed up and talked about that on a video and delivered it to the public. And I would have thought to myself, that's probably harmless, whatever. I'm just telling you what I think.
Uh-huh.
But if I was to do that now, I would never say a word until I actually had that paper in my hand that I could show you with the link and the vetted information from a peer-reviewed scientific paper, a study that's been done, that I could present and then give the public the link and say, this is where I received this information, okay? And not speak outside of its parameters. I think then that would lead me to watch the rest of that individual's video, click on that link, and read that paper.
Yeah.
And if you're going to talk about portals and interdimensional, then provide some peer-reviewed information and links for people to go study.
That can support it. Right.
Exactly. So at least what you're doing is that others can use to better their study and move forward. Not
Right.
just take your word for it. It's not
Yeah.
that hard to look stuff up. And if you can't find any information, then move on to something else. And I had to learn that. Matter of fact, there was a time back a year and a half ago, probably, I don't know, year and a half ago, probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years now, where I actually had taken down, I went through from the very first video I ever made all the way up through, and I didn't have to dirty delete anything because I did any hoaxing or lying or nothing like that. It was just what I was rambling on about. And I thought, that's, if you're expecting a newcomer to come along and say, I learn from that guy and try to do it like he does, well, this isn't a very good, role model.
Uh-huh.
Talking gibberish about stuff which isn't very hard for me. I wasn't gifted with, I wasn't gifted with being able to articulate what I want to say very well.
Can I do this then?
2 hours later.
2 hours later. Anyway. No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, Jonathan. You have to make things appealing to the newcomers. Okay, if you want them to learn from you, if you want them to take you seriously and watch your videos, you got to have a catch. That's just normal. You have to have your thing that sets you out different from everybody else out there, because right now there's a shit ton of Sasquatch channels out there, because they all at some point went, I could do that and I could do it better. So they make their own channel. They see all that it takes to put on a show, and they're trying to do it. And many have succeeded and have a great following, but you have to find your people, okay? The ones who are like-minded, you
Yeah,
know?
they just naturally group together, just like cliques in a high school. You had the heads, the jocks, the nerds. They're like they just bond together like people do bond together. They feel more comfortable together. So it's easier to be comfortable among like-minded people.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
all good.
Hold on. I gotta get somebody to close my door. My TV is on so loud. I'm surprised you guys can't hear that. Come and shut my door. So my dog is asleep right now, so she's in here. I can't shut the door because then she starts scratching at it to come in.
No, dear.
She's got to be watching me at all times. So let me take a quick look at what's going on in the chat. I said I was going to pay more attention, and I didn't. PIR, you are an awesome person, but respect you not being on. Expect you not being on. Oh, being on here? Yeah. Only the brave people come onto my show now, apparently. So you're a brave person, Jonathan.
Oh, that was just fun to watch.
You never know what can happen on my show. So
Right
yeah,
on. Right on.
we'll see. We'll see. It might be you every week from now on. No.
That's fine. That's
We're just having a conversation, people. The world's not ending, for goodness sakes.
no, ma'am.
Yeah. What else? What else? This is a long one. A week and a half ago, I did a show on how Bigfoot should not be your default starting point to explain what you experience. A few were saying that. I've heard it's a lot this past week, though. Heard it a lot. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think,
Um,
well, and I experienced this as well. Especially when you're first getting into it. I mean, you get a little bit thirsty for, any type of content that has any body to it or a talking point. And, you're kind of excited to put it on. You talked about this before, feeling the need that you have to put out content. And that can muddy the waters. It can muddy your thought process. And in the
it
early,
can,
it's really easy.
right? It can. Now, I mean, for me, doing content, it's going to be hard to not duplicate, right? I try to make a fresh show every week. I try to have different topics. It'll always come back around to the same type of talk because that's what I do, hoaxes and hoodwinks, okay?
Yeah,
That's what
you
my
have
show
to
is
know.
based off of.
Yeah.
Just because the name changed, I can add more stuff in now when I changed my name because
Yeah.
there were many reasons for me to go from Hairyman, hoaxes and hoodwinks to Sasquatch secrets
Mm-hmm.
because, of the whole algorithm thing and not being searched up because I didn't have Bigfoot or Sasquatch in my name. It hurt having the Hairyman on there, believe it or not. And things have finally started to come around again.
Good.
So, and now I can talk about more things than that and it make more sense. So, but there's always going to be people who don't want that to happen, don't want people to give their opinions. Okay. Uh, just like my disclaimer at the beginning of every show, for me, this is entertainment purposes. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
would like to label it as educational. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but for now, it's entertainment. It's my opinion. I use videos, I use clips, I use information from other people as criticism. Okay, that's what I do. That's what this is about.
You
I
do a good job.
100% am criticizing the way the community does things because I love the community and I want it to be better and stronger and I want to find answers.
That's
And I
just,
want, yeah,
yeah,
it's
striving to be better.
right. We should all be trying to do that,
Yep.
not accept everything that's out there when you all know in your head you're going, there's no way. How can, we all do that.
Yeah.
So, um, but I will, and I'll point it out, and I'll say, come on, look at this. How many pareidolia channels are there going to be out there before you say, let me close one eye and look sideways? Maybe I'll see it, Um, I've seen a little bit less red circles, which is a plus.
There you go. There's a good point. There's an improvement in the community because it was brought up, whether they liked it, whether they didn't, they were conscious of it, and it
Yeah,
started to diminish. Sometimes
right.
people on there just to poke you in the eyeball, but they're thinking about it too. So there was an improvement. It's
It seems like it. I mean, it's a cyclic. There's a lot of it, and you can kind of see when a bunch of newbies come in because that tends to come up until they realize, oh my God, how many red circles are you going to use on that?
Mm,
And how many times you have to say, if you have to circle it, don't put it out there.
right.
If you have to tell somebody what they're looking at, then it's not worthy of being put out into the public. Keep it. I'm not telling you to stop taking your shitty pictures. Take as many of those pictures as you want. But for putting it out there, the minute you drop it into social media, it is fair game. Okay? It is fair game for criticism.
Sure.
And that's just the way it is. So you either like it or you don't. Don't put it out if you don't want it to get talked about.
Yeah. And I think on our on our part, our responsibility would to be to look at the whole learning process or the criticism as like they are children and you're raising them. And I don't mean that sarcastically. But what I mean is, everybody has their own parental techniques to raising children, and such as, New York State standards, how teachers can conduct themselves and teach in school. Well, um, for children, they have to have choices, choices, choices,
Mm-hmm.
and also need to have responsibility and parameters and be guided. They also need to have a little bit of downtime and reward. Um, and there's structure to that whole teaching and raising children. And I think that sometimes it does get very, very frustrating. You just want to blow your top and get online. And our body language sometimes is, maybe a little overboard. That's just my opinion, but I totally get it because I'll probably do it myself. Um, and I just think that we should be conscious of that. And I think that I saw that, 2 years ago when all the critical thinking group was
Uh-huh.
pushed in full gear, coming at it full steam ahead. It was very overwhelming, caught everybody's attention, and now it seems that the flock separated and joined the groups that they feel they're comfortable with. And some have gotten to the point where they've snubbed up their nose and said, don't even bother listening to them critical thinking people. Bah humbug, I don't even listen to them, the hell with them. And they're done learning anything because they're not going to watch anything that's associated with well-structured research techniques or so on and so forth. And so I think if you want the community and the ball to move forward and the research to move in a positive direction, I think each and every one of us has a responsibility to conduct ourselves properly in the eyes of public, just like any politician. Well, I retract them last 10 words.
No, now it's on here. Now it's out there forever, you know. It's out there forever. So, good to see Squatch America in the chat. How are you? Thanks for being here. Loved your episode on Cloudcroft, New Mexico. That's where I have been going lately. So, thanks. That was nice. I took a look at that Bigfoot. What did they call it? Bigfoot experience or something. It was under construction, and I couldn't find anybody out there. But I'm glad you got to go inside and see what was going on in there. I'm looking forward to going over there and checking it out myself.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what that's like inside of there.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else was I going to say about all this stuff? So anyway, Bigfoot research to be taken seriously, we need some scientists, right? The scientists have to know some. We don't need a lot. We need a few who will get involved, who have the right contacts, who can run legitimate studies, because getting money for these studies is near impossible from any big universities. But we need that. We need those people to be involved. And for that to happen, the hoaxing has to go down, or it has to be made, it has to be addressed. We can't just let it go unchecked. And it's not just moral imperative, right? It's a practical necessity. We have to call out the hoaxers. We have to make it known that they're doing things that aren't right. Because if we don't, it's going to get crazy. And then the people who are really putting out the effort and going out there and researching and investigating, they're not going to be taken seriously. And then they're going to drop off all the social media. And then we're not going to be able to watch them or comment or see all the good stuff they're doing.
Yeah, they won't be able to see the stars through the clouds of bullshit.
Squatch America says, we donated a cast and some hair samples they will have on display. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I was going to go back up at the when was I going to go back up? I was going to go back up like two weeks ago, but I just got too busy, and then all of a sudden it started snowing up there already. So I'm not big on driving that road. You guys traveled that road up to Cloudcroft, yeah, on ice. I'm not gonna do that. So,
what was the elevation up there, Nikki?
8,600.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget your inhaler next time you go up there.
Shoots, never. I have them all over now. All my purses because I change purses. I have one in every purse now, so I always have one. That was a mistake. And as a matter of fact, my sister ordered me a nebulizer, a portable one that I can actually keep with me too. Oh my gosh,
Cool.
so crazy.
I actually just let my babysitter borrow the nebulizer that I had for Camille back a year
Uh
ago,
huh.
but it was a bigger machine, a little bit bigger than a softball, so probably not anything like around in the woods with you.
Yeah. Rabbit. Yeah, no, I'm not monetized. I'm a small channel. I'm just a small channel making my way. And but if you'd like to spread the word and bring more people around, be my guest. Hit that subscribe button, send it to your friends, tell them they might like my channel. Sometimes I do goofy shit, sometimes I cook, sometimes I'm out walking and hiking, sometimes I'm just playing music and getting a bunch of copyrights. You never know what you're gonna get. So Donald said, icy roads are a blast, Nikki. Yes, but not when there's a 300-foot drop on the other side. So
Wheeler
I
coming.
grew up driving in the snow, so I can drive in the snow. It's just, you know what? Get with me, Donald. I'll tell you the whole reason why I'm not going to drive on the ice. There's much more to it. Much more to that.
That's how I
Um,
Trout Lake up near between Bolton and Chestertown. My dad
uh-huh.
had a Chevy Blazer and we were ice fishing, him, Jeff Jordan, and I, and they had a 5-speed on the floor. And he said, I asked him, I said, can I drive? I had drove Grandpa's truck back and forth from Grandpa's house to my dad across the field delivering firewood, but I had never drove it over 10 miles an hour up till that point. And he surprisingly said, you know what? There's no better place than right here. There's a foot of ice out there. It was glare ice in areas and then patches of snow, 20, 30 yards in a circle, these patches that were crusty, but not a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of glare ice and a patch. What a great place to learn how to drive. I was out there, burned up 3/4 of a tank of gas, spinning all over the place, hitting those hard patches, the truck getting jerked around. So I by the end of that day, I felt so comfortable in that truck, sliding all over the place and learning how to control it, or be sliding and hit a hard patch and have it catch and then spin me all over the place. It might have been the smartest thing my father ever let me do when it comes to driving. So if the ice is safe, take your kid out there, put them in a standard, and let them slide all over the place and get comfortable with it. And then you won't panic when you're starting to get out of control on the highway. You have a better chance.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
My mom taught me to drive early, 14 and 15, out camping every time. She would let me drive the little 4-speeder Datsun we had. And
Yeah.
I, I just, but that was back when you could walk in, when you were on your birthday at 16, you could walk straight into the DMV and walk out with your license on the same day.
Oh, that must that I had to take the permit. It was quick permit, and then no, the written test, and then the driver's test. Was that all there was? There wasn't 3 steps. Yeah, right. Go in, the written
I did.
test, get
We didn't
signed
have to do any of
up.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
had to do the written. You
I
went
did.
in, took the written. If you passed the written, then you did the eye test. If you passed the eye test, then they took you out on the road. All the same day. So that was
I
good.
think I was the same day, but yeah, it was quick. And that's all there was to it. Over by Eastfield, passed my road test and have my license. Now you have to like drive with a driver over 21 for a certain amount of time, right? I mean, even when you get your permit,
You don't have to what? I,
now
Book you.
kids have to drive with a licensed driver over
Oh.
20 something for almost a year or some crazy thing.
Ours is no, it's not a year. I don't know. We didn't do that with my oldest. But 16 to 18. I think it's maybe 2 years. Or no, you can't drive past 10 p.m. I know that one for sure.
Okay.
They can't drive from 16 to 18. You have to be not on the road at 10 p.m. But I think that's a general curfew thing that's here in El Paso.
I see. Well, Sierra's 28, so it's, been a while since I've had to deal with the kids with the driver's license, and I know a lot of things have changed. Camille's 10 now, so it won't be long, and I'll be teaching her to drive.
Well, yeah, well, my 16-year-old, we need to get out there, and I have to teach her, but she doesn't have a desire to drive.
Yeah,
She even said, "That's okay, Mom. I'll get married, and my husband can drive me around." I go, "What? What? No." I go, I couldn't wait to get my license, but it was a different time. We didn't have phones. If you wanted to talk to your friends, you had to go to their house and talk to your friends or get on the phone, and wrap yourself around that long ass cord that your mom had hooked on there. So that was the only way. We didn't have phones attached to us. That now I'm addicted to my own phone. So it is what it is. But I don't have much in the way of show me what you got. I kind of looked around a little bit, a lot of old stuff. You could tell it's the holidays. Some people, the normal people who were posting stuff, didn't have their stuff out there. But there was something that Daniel Benoit from the ECBRO had posted several weeks ago, and it was in regards to pareidolia. And he had this example up there of how you never know what you're looking at, and don't make assumptions, about certain things. And one is through the trees on one further away a little bit, and then with it cleared, you can see the stump squatch, which I think is a lot of photos out there are just stump squatches or rocks or logs, that have fallen. So,
and I think they know that too, a lot of them. And I'll tell you, I was watching something today.
Know.
Yeah, they do, because they'll have their phone all zoomed in at 200 yards, and they'll be like, "There's one right there. You see that right there?" And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, just hold that phone right on that thing and start walking right there, and don't take that phone off that. But no, it's all right. Well, we're gonna bounce out for a little bit. We'll be right back, and then next thing you know, they're all the way over there near that and talking about how it must have crawled away. I mean, why not just set down one camera pointing right directly at what it is that you think is a Sasquatch,
Right.
your derriere, and go right there and walk right to
Go. Yes. Go look at it. I don't understand why people say and see stuff and then they don't. You don't have to go all the way towards it. If you really think it's an animal, and if it could be a bear, we don't, but you can change your angle. You can walk forward to see if you see movement, right?
Yeah.
That's all you need, is to see movement, because that's the primary thing, is to see if it's a living thing. Because stumps don't move, And I don't know. I hope that I proved I could do that when I was in Washington, that if there's something you don't know, then go look. Be brave and go look, or make an attempt to go look. But everybody's different. And I know that's something that Brent has said before, is that everybody has their own way when you're out in the woods. And some people have that ability and some don't. So, but if you aren't the type of person to really investigate what you're claiming, then don't put it out.
There you go. That's harmful. You're not going to get hurt if you don't put it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You still have it. You have it for your own, investigation and stuff. But
Mhm.
it's just my opinion that not everybody should be putting out all the crap that they put out
And if you don't have
unless they
lion
do.
in your area, I mean, if you're outside of mountain lion area, I mean, there isn't. In my opinion, there are very few wild animals during the day that are gonna stay put, crouched down on the ground while you start walking towards them. Eventually, before you get too close, unless they're stuffed in a brush pile and think they're hidden, they're gonna skedaddle. I mean, ask any hunter who's out trying to hunt these animals. They take off. They're gonna move. Granted, a mountain lion is a little bit more of an ambush, a lot more of an ambush predator, and you would, you know, want to be a little more careful walking
Right.
straight mountain lion. You don't really want to do that, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
I suggest you start walking towards a grizzly bear, if you're in grizzly bear country, and
Mhm.
you should be
Well,
real careful. And
of course you should. You should. But the point is to see movement. And
yeah,
that's what you don't see on any of these things posted, right? They
hmm
they are probably videos, but they take a screenshot of something saying, "Oh, look, that looks like a Bigfoot." Then they screenshot it and they post.
yeah. Oh, froze up.
There you go.
I like the pictures. You zoom in, because when you zoom in to max zoom, it starts to get very pixelated and blurry, and you can pick out a lot of faces in that brush pile.
Yeah. Wait, I'm on the wrong thing here. I thought there's old spirit art. Did you see did you see your title promo? That was all you.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that? Are you
That
me?
was all for old spirit art out there in the chat.
Oh, all right.
That
Hold
she's the one who came up with honest tea. It's honest
on. Oh,
tea time.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So let me see who else. There's Eric from Paranormal Highway. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Rick, what's
Um,
Trackway, Jeff, Donald, Gary, Old Spirit, Brent,
so
Paranormal. Yeah, Eric.
where was I gonna end this that point? Oh, I already did all that.
What's up, Jay Fritz?
So anyway, that's just my little spiel about pareidolia. It doesn't you don't have to do that.
What's
If
up,
you
Chris?
can't see it, don't circle it. If you do have something you see, make sure you take a before or after photo, include those in that photo so we can see that something's missing.
That's
Otherwise, there's no context to the photo.
mm-hmm,
You have to do that. Just keep that in mind, especially if you're videoing, then you do have a before and after.
mm-hmm.
And if it was there the entire time, odds are you go back, it's still going to be there because it was a stump or
Blue Line
something.
Bigfoot. Hey, what's up, man?
So,
Hey, BLB. I can confirm that the gentleman we were talking about today is not the gentleman from up there in the big town of Chester. I worked on that, so if you're hearing me, that it's not. Um, that individual is from down way south of us. So just wanted you to know that, man. I've been working on that. It's not the same guy. What's up, B. Lynn? Daily Chronicle, Donald Fuller, Jay Fritz.
Brent, it's
Man,
going good, old spirit. I'm at least hoping to get some free yard care with my cult. like Matt Johnson does.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Whoa, my whole chat disappeared and popped back up. Hold on. What's going on here?
You know
Okay,
what?
go
If
crazy.
that's starting to happen again, I think it's because I've just clicked on so that I could see the chat. So
You think it's you are affecting my channel today.
so let me go back out of that there.
So next, well, I'm not even on the right thing page. What is going on?
I need to go up and check on the daughter.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
I'll be back in a few.
Okay. I'll put you back up when you come back. What do we got? I only have one story, and I can't remember if I did this one or not. I can't remember. Believe it or not, the stupid Bigfoot in the train is still out there on the loose, and the Mississippi swamp Bigfoot thing is coming back around again. So why? One of these days, folks. One of these days, I'll fix it. Anyway, okay, so you'll have to see me. So this comes from the Mirror, and it says Bigfoot hunter finds 9-inch footprint, but skeptics all ask the same question. This comes from those were taken from Big Believers, I believe. Bigfoot Believer, yeah, on Facebook. And it says, Bigfoot Believer is convinced he's found 9-inch prints from the legendary beast. Chuck Headley posted on Facebook group Bigfoot Believers a number of images showcasing what looked like an outline of a rather large foot in the mud. Just checking to see what. Okay. The mysterious print was spotted in Ritchie County, West Virginia, had the outline of 5 stumpy toes, and seemed to show that the beast had strolled out of a small body of water. To authenticate the images, a social media user added a tape measure across the footprint showing how big it was. While the images were somewhat convincing, skeptics were still cynical as they all asked the same thing. Why only one print? Because that's all we ever find, right? I don't know. Why is there only one footprint? What? Bigfoot only hops on one foot, then lands a mile away. So you have those 2 photos there, which kind of look weird, but I don't know. It kind of looks like maybe that was there and then somebody dug their fingers in like that, you know. Oh, damn camera. Excuse me while I try to fix this camera real fast. My back. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. What else does it say? No, and then it talks about Patterson Gimlin, and that's about it. So there's your one news story, because the news has never been the same since the Bigfoot train story. I'm telling you, it has not been the same at all. Let me, I think, let me take a look at what we got going on over here. She didn't need to go. I don't know what you're talking about. I think, why do I still have 3 things up here? So I know you guys saw this. YouTube sent Brent an email today saying that he needed to be more positive. How can they do that? I don't understand that at all. and they're going to restrict his advanced access to the profile. I don't know what all that entails. Even looking at my advanced settings, I don't think it's a big deal anyway, but I don't know if it's going to affect you any, Brent. So anyway, he says, should I smile more? You better show those pearly whites now. There he goes.
I saw that comment that Brent made.
Yeah.
Today, I was sent something from YouTube asking me to take a survey, and it was looking for my race and gender, and I can't remember exactly what it was all for. It was to better help them with the demographics. So their questions about who I am, who I claim to be, supposed to help them, with their demographics, whatever that meant. I thought I was sent a questionnaire today.
Weird.
Yeah.
It probably was that, Donald. I lost my mouse. It's lost. Where are you? Are you over here? There you are. So, yeah, it could be that, when you have channels that are thousands and thousands of subs and you make a comment, you could make any comment, to go and falsely mark things, just because you don't like what's being said, and everybody has the right to their opinion. So, but that's just the part of this too, and Brent knows, and I know we don't, and even Steve knows we're not doing things that people like. So there's always that possibility that you're going to get backlash from doing stuff like this, and that's just part of it. And you have to have a certain type of toughness to take that stuff. I haven't gotten a whole lot of, I've gotten a little bit, but not a lot. And mostly my subs are going up. So does that mean people just like to tune into the shit show, or do they like the content? It doesn't, it is what it is.
Hey,
So
open up dialogue to have the conversation, whether it be like static electricity and a big argument sometimes. Well, at least it's drawn the attention of everybody, and the subject at hand is left in everybody's mind, for the week's work, and leave it to them to make of it what they will.
If you don't like stuff like that in the content, then don't watch. There are thousands of podcasts out there. If you don't like mine, or you don't like what they're saying, then just move on. It is super simple, right? Unless it's something that's, I have to say, if it was like Vault of Nightmare, then that's bad. That was a channel that did need to go down, in my opinion, and did. Things caught up and is gone now. But that was different. Yeah, that was different. That was possibly
right.
So, and that's not what I'm doing. I don't want to harm anybody. And it is what it is. I'm going to do what I keep doing, and so is Brent, and so is everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that that is what we're looking for, is somehow through this to bring the bullarchy and misinformation down to a respectable, tolerable level. To be able to have an adult conversation about a topic and not get all bent out of shape.
Right.
Let's more dialogue. So yeah, I think you guys are doing a good job. I mean,
Paranormal Highway Eric says it's sad when people learn about the truth from people who fake stuff, but they keep following them. Exactly. They actually care more about the group they follow than the truth. And you're right. And that is part of it. You get so invested in somebody, it's hard to come away from that,
yeah.
So
Well,
they
there's a lot
become
of
big
folks out there that
followers.
take parenting classes more than once because they don't get it the first time too.
Right.
It was,
And I have to, some people are making YouTube their living, so they take it so seriously because that's their money, and so they feel they have to defend that because that's the way they make a living. And I've seen that as well in many different parts, not just Bigfoot community, but other communities where, you can't say anything about their channel because that's a direct hit on their lifestyle, their living, their money, bottom line. But that's not the case with me, and it's not the case for Brent. And it's, if our channels disappeared, my life would keep going.
right.
I don't get anything monetarily out of this, or my time is of my own. So it it would be sad because I really like my channel, and I hope to grow it. I mean, that's what you want to do when you have a channel, is you hope that people watch you and like you.
Yeah, and I think it is going to grow over the years and do really well, Nikki. I really do.
And it's just a matter if I want to keep doing it. Seriously, it's a lot of work for what I'm doing. I mean, I could do easy stuff and just have, come on, let's just talk about whatever. But that's not what I do. So, I wouldn't mind being able to pay for my StreamYard every month with my YouTube channel. I wouldn't mind that. It wouldn't upset me if I could afford to do that. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever have the views to do that. I may get the subscribers, but you have to have a lot. People think you can make all kinds of big money, but unless you're doing a shit ton of content, like the bigger channels, Paranormal Highway there, or Unidentified S4, or who knows, the bigger channels.
You got to get
You can't
advertised.
make a living at it. You can't do it as a living unless you're making that money. So
Yeah.
Let's look over here. A person on Steve. Oops, it jumped. Dang it. I lost what I was reading. It really jumped. I didn't realize I was so far back. At the tall ones, that is crazy. You are diplomatic when calling out the BS. You're right, Angel. He's just saying the facts. I've never heard you call anybody any names. Have I? Now I'm gonna think about it. No. We like Nikki, but she's fair and honest with her opinions and don't resort to insulting people or calling names like some people. Yeah, there's no need to do that.
Yeah, there is.
Integrity. You have to have your integrity.
To respect you by doing.
And I may call people's stuff not real and stuff, but I'm talking about their acts, not the person. That, you know what I mean? So, this is why people don't speak up about hoaxers. Look at what the enablers do. Yeah, they want to block you. They want to get you out of the scene completely. And you will have some fanatics, because it'll only take a couple of fanatics to really do damage to a channel, like spamming and all that stuff, or going and falsely reporting your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a bad apple. And a few dangerous ones. You are right.
Yeah,
And out of thousands of people, you're definitely going to come across a few of them that are hackers that could really do
right.
damage to you personally if they really wanted to. Hope that never
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Sean's in the house? I didn't even see Sean sneak in. You
What's
sneaky
up,
person, you. Sneaking in. Um, Pine Island says, if my channel disappears, I can get a lot of more fishing done.
Sean? Amen to that. Amen to that.
Oh, trust me, my husband would say for me, well, now you can get all those little projects you wanted done.
I
I'm
just
always telling him, I'm going to go clean the garage. I'm going to go clean out the garage. And I don't, because I had to get the show ready. I'm always saying that. I have to work on the show. I have to go work on my show. And he's like, okay. And he goes, you realize you don't get paid for that. And I
Nick,
go, I
do you have
know.
a PayPal account? I mean, do you have a PayPal account associated with your channel?
No, I don't have it out. I don't have any pay thing. I do have the
It's like,
buymeacoffee.com, but my intention for the buymeacoffee.com was so that I could do commission work for wood burning. But
okay.
that freaking website has been on the fritz for me for a while now, so I don't even know if you could donate on there. I don't think it's even working, and I haven't even checked on it. I haven't gotten any notifications from it. So I have to go back, and I'll probably have to redo that whole thing. I just haven't checked.
Definitely donate to your channel if you had a PayPal account, because I know it is hard to take your time out to do all this, and
It is,
without
but it's
platform.
still my hobby. It's my hobby, and it's what
Right.
I like to dedicate my time. And right now I'm okay. I don't need to have that. It would be nice to be able to support it, my
Yeah,
hobby. And
sure.
but at this point it's not like a big hoop to do for me to be able to do that. It's just something that I'm getting ready for. Like I said, what I wanted was to get paid for making wood burns,
Right on.
but I had like 4 in a row, and then it just kind of petered off after that. But I haven't been advertising it either, and that's another thing. I'm horrible about advertising that shit because I don't know, you have to have time to do it, number one, because it does take a lot of time.
Yeah, my
I
daughter
just checked
to
reading
help.
from LA.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just reading under my breath.
My daughter wants me to help her set up a little kids company type thing. She wants to make crafts, like she's getting stickers and clear nails and clear phone cases, and she's gonna put stickers all over them and crochet stuff together. And she wanted
Oh,
to. Been working
oh,
on that for the last couple of days. She's found all the small boxes and the packaging and the labels and the stand to put all of her supplies in. And I got with my mom, and she showed me the website ST, and where you can buy and sell crafts and
oh, yeah.
homemade. You could definitely sell your wood burning on ST. They have a business.
Yeah, yeah, I could, but you have to have enough stuff to sell, right? It's not worth it if you don't have stock. And
Exactly.
I don't have a lot of stock because guess what? I fall in love with my own work, and I put it on my wall, and then I don't want to sell it. So I was like, that's mine now. It's right there, and you're staying there. So
Well,
that's why I put a high price. My husband says, well, make sure you get your time. So he made me keep track of how long it was taking me to do some of the works. And he said, now pay yourself properly. you know? And I'm like, nobody's going to pay that much for that. You know? And he goes,
Well,
well,
have
still,
you done?
don't sell it for nothing.
So have you? If you made up 5 and you had a show like this, you could do like a little auction here, you know, with the bunch of us. Because like I'd like to have
Oh,
one, just because I know you made it and it's by you and you do a good job with it.
well, thank
So
you.
fitting
That's
away.
sweet.
I mean, you could, as friends, we could, you know, battle against each other to get the one we really like, and you'd make out like a bandit, and there you go. It'd be fun.
That would be interesting to do something
Yeah.
like that.
So if there's
It's
anybody out
just I know how
there
hard
here,
people work for their money, you know? So I have a hard time asking people to pay a lot for stuff. And
well, you
what
start out
are
with $5, give me
breaking
20,
news?
blah blah, give me 40. Next thing you know, you're getting $67 for a wood burning.
Over 20, 20, 20, 25, 25, 30, 30, 35.
Yeah. Hey,
Keep
there
going.
you go. Do it. I can't.
The real Larry Hart video. There's a video. Interesting. We'll have to check that out. Um,
Have
I
quite interesting information about that.
right.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? Thanks for coming on. I think that was the end. I had upcoming events. I've already pretty much decided I don't think there's going to be a Christmas show in December. I'm going
Okay.
to do a bigger New Year's Eve party where we'll be up all night probably, and I'm going to do an extra long show that day.
All right.
So that's if my husband doesn't take me out. So, because from what I think the 31st falls on Sunday. So that's why. Um, I'm pretty sure we'll probably won't be going out anywhere. So we'll have but as I get down through December, all that'll be solidified and I can say yeah or yay or nay on that show. But I'm pretty sure we'll have a big New Year's Eve show. Probably just fly by rando, possibly shows around Christmas, but not a set show. Because I'm going to be hosting this year, so hopefully my whole family is going to be here with me.
Oh, nice.
Other than that, we'll have a couple more shows before I stop for this holiday. So it looks like we're going to be able to do the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th. And then I'm going to take a break. And then we'll do the 31st. Because I got to get tamales done. I got to get cookies done. I have to decorate my house. I have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, we were doing some decorating outside today here at my mom's. It's looking good.
That's good.
Like
Come
Chris,
and put up my lights because my husband doesn't like to get up on the ladder. And yeah, he hates to do that. So I paid 1 year because I found a really good deal and they did a nice job. But then all of a sudden the prices just went like skyrocketing for them to come put your lights up. And I'm like, dang, forget that. So last year I hung just the ones I could reach. And we made a Grinch look like it's taking the lights off your house.
Oh, cool.
So it made a real cool effect. And I got out of putting the lights. So I might just do that again this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you, Jonathan, for coming on and chit-chatting with me.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Yeah, I did too. I really did. Everybody. Oh, I'm not even on the right thing over here. I'm probably going to push weird buttons. But see, that's not the right button either. I want to do this button. There we go. Hey, hit that like button before you guys leave. If you like my content, be sure to share that out, let people know, and subscribe. But I for sure will see you guys and Jonathan and everybody in the next chat. I love you guys.
Everybody.
Bye.